Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for March 2025. I've cleansed your space and I meditated on your cards. If you are not, I'm going to start with the astrological forecast for the month of March. If you're not interested in this, please have a look in the description box down below where I've been listing a few timestamps to when the tarot reading actually starts. But we're starting with the astrological forecast for the month of March, and we're having quite a few conjunctions happening, and it's going to be mainly with our moon. So our moon is all connected to our emotions. There's a bit of femininity and beauty, and this subconscious really, but it's mainly about our feelings, and depending on what it's conjuncting with or having a conjunction with, it's going to be our feelings in different kind of aspects. But we're starting the 1st of March with a conjunction of Moon and Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, adaptability, mentality, look, mind, and how we share our thoughts. So it's going to be uniting our thoughts and feelings, making us really good communicators and helping us deep dive into our spiritual connections. But it's asking us not to live in our heads too much and not really expressing our feelings if we are feeling them too intensely when it comes to negative emotions. You know, you can't have the negative without the positive, but if you feel overly angry or overly anxious or very sad, it's asking you to connect with that first before actually expressing yourself. On the 2nd of March, we have a conjunction of Moon and Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and balance. And it can bring a blend of beauty, emotional depth, financial ease, but also a little bit of challenges in emotional stability. The Moon will once again be in the sign of Pisces, because this celestial event has already happened one time this year. So it's kind of like a rerun to make sure that everything is in line with ourselves. And that time it was also in the sign of Pisces. So it's really asking us to connect with our intuition and our own depth. On the 3rd of March, we have a conjunction of Mercury and Neptune. And Neptune is the planet of inspiration, magic, illusion, spirituality, the subconscious, fantasies. It also intensifies intuition and compassion. And it makes us focus our thinking and communication onto spiritual topics, mysteries, and secrets. It's an ideal time to dive into creativity, but also into the occult studies. Don't expect your answers to be in one thing only, though. It's going to lead us down a few rabbit holes. If you are interested in connecting with the beyond, or the next level, we can say, make sure that you take very good care of yourselves and your space. The sun is in Pisces at this time, which also is aiding us and guiding us in this. Just make sure that you're grounding yourself plenty at this time so you don't feel lost. On the 6th of March, we have a conjunction of Moon and Jupiter is the planet of principles, growth, expansion, adventure, healing, good fortune, miracles, and wisdom. And it's another conjunction that will aid us in steering our course of life onto a higher alignment. This event could also bring a bit of harmony and balance into our lives, but also success in aligned careers, spiritual growth, intuition, financial gains, and good health. On the 9th of March, we have a conjunction of Moon and Mars is the planet of masculinity, the warrior, courage, strength, ambition, impulsiveness, but also a little bit of aggression and confrontation. So it can make us a bit impulsive, angry, overreactive, a bit stubborn, but innovative. So ground your feelings before you are expressing them. And on the same day, we also have a conjunction of Venus and Mercury. So you have the Moon and Mars, a bit of a feminine with a masculine, along with Venus, which is also very feminine, dancing in the stars and dancing in the sky at the same time. And it will be throwing us into a little bit of a whiplash of avoiding confrontation or getting it out of our systems now. So Venus and Mercury are asking us to instinctively avoid confrontation and instead share innovative ideas with a clear perspective and good communication. Sharing and a willingness to broaden the horizon of success. And on the 14th of March, we have the full moon in Virgo with a total lunar eclipse. So this energy will be prominent a few days before, peaking on the 14th of March, and a few days after. Like, it's going to be a little bit of a lingering energy. And safety and emotions are connected to order and clarity at this time. And a sense of need to organize anything distracting or chaotic, like cleansing out old things in your place that you don't no longer need, or like you feel is draining you, or it's just building up clutter. And It's gonna also ask us to focus on being tolerant and accepting imperfections and allow things not to always have to live up to our expectations. On the 28th of March, we have Neptune at a solar conjunction, and we also have the spring equinox. And Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces, and this is the last day of Pisces. So we will start the new astrological year with a heightened sensitivity to vibrational energy, with the sun being in the last day in Pisces before moving on to Aries on the 21st. And I don't think there's a coincidence in us getting collectively a heightened awareness of vibrational energy before the new year actually begins, because it's kind of realigning. 2025 has kind of been starting to realign everything that is not working perfectly for our highest good. On the 28th of March, we have a conjunction of Moon and Saturn. Saturn is the planet of discipline and structure. This has also happened one time this year already, and it is kind of asking us once again to double check that we have actually picked up and changed a few things that we need to. And it is all about how our structure is impacting our emotions and vice versa. And make sure life demands are not weighing you down too much, but if they are, have a look at what you can change to realign yourself or align yourself. It's a great time to start meditating if you've been meaning to take it up, because the moon is all about emotion and Saturn is all about being strict and disciplined. So combining those two is a great thing to actually start working with. On the 29th of March, we have the new moon in Aries. We have both the sun and the moon propelling us forward into the month of April. And we really want to get going with our intentions. Pivot or lean into discomfort if you need to. Aries is a fire sign, and fire has the power to destroy or to blaze path for new growth and fresh beginnings. So with that, I'm going to cleanse the space one time with you before we actually get started with your reading, and you will be hearing 3 loud sounds, and I will begin now. Thank you so much, Cancer, for being here for your reading for March 2025. We're going to have a start and have a look at your spirit animals for the month of March. During your meditation, before I actually began recording, I felt like it was almost like underwater but coming up to the surface quite quickly. So that is the energy that I'm picking up on. Maybe you're feeling like you finally get to bob your head over the water a little bit and actually be able to float a little bit with life. But we're going to have a look at your spirit animals for the month of March. Could you please guide Cancer for the highest good? What do they need to be aware of? There's quite a few cards here, Cancer. So let's have a look at it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to start sorting these out a little bit. We need to have that like that, and we're going to have this and these ones. Okay, so we're starting with the oyster here. It's a water card, and the oyster is all about the treasure that you have inside, that you've been really clammed up and you need to actually start releasing. You can see all this shine coming in here, but you have a really hard protective shell, and you need to be opening up to allowing this treasure to be basically shared or appreciated. It's also living under the water in the emotions, and that's what I'm picking up, and that's where you actually create your treasure. That's what I'm getting from that. We also have the octopus here, which is all about, you know, having arms and maybe even juggling a few things at the same time. It is also a water card here, and I'm thinking about arms and the depth, and the octopus can camouflage itself but still kind of be dabbling into things. So just make sure that you are not being exposed or overdoing things or getting yourself into situations that you feel like you can't get yourself out of when it comes to almost like social settings, like I'm not saying gossiping perhaps, but that is also one thing that is popping up here, that you kind of dabbling into things. But this is just a little bit of awareness. But the octopus is very intelligent, and it can camouflage itself, and it can, you know, spray the ink to get out of situations. But I feel like the other cards, we need to have a little look in the guidebook here Just bear with me. We have 2 more water there. We got fire, we're going to have fire, we've got an earth sign there. So let's start with the bear. And the bear is all about waking up from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from the deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move forward toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of a new direction and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual guest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When it's in balance, you have inner strength and yearning to grow. When it's out of balance, it's about withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. And to bring this into balance, you need to start with movement and maybe a little bit of exercise there. We continue on with the zebra, and I'm looking at all these stripes, black and white, and then you have a lot of color in the middle. So it's about eccentric, creative, and visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared, the potential magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. When it's in balance, it's worldly, enthusiastic, fashion forward. When it's out of balance, it's jaded, pouty, and vain. To bring it into a balance, you need an epic adventure and art. Cobra, which is all about pausing, waiting, and the inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teachers, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When it's in balance, you are a student of life, humble and wise. When it's out of balance, it's about know-it-all and egocentric. To bring it into balance, you need to take a class and maybe even start studying. The beaver. I'm thinking about beavers being very happy building their homes, but it's about being a hard worker, loyal, tired less, and family first. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home, financial stability, and so on. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga or selfless service. When it's in balance, it's happy, meaningful work. When it's out of balance, it feels useless and worn out. To bring this into balance, you need physical labor and selfless service. You also have the starfish, which is about beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been relying on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? And what dream have I put aside to please others? When it's in balance, it's uplifting, artistic, and expressive. When it's out of balance, it gossips and feels empty. To bring this into balance, you need positive friends. So I feel like this is a little bit connected here with the octopus, together with the oyster, actually. It's funny that all these water cards are actually connecting with each other. I'm also going to have a look at what is the theme for the month of March, what do you need to focus on, and what will the reading be about, so we can kind kind of reconnect with the reading as we're going. But these are your focus points for March. This is what the reading is going to be all about, and this is what you need to be aware of, basically, essentially, in the month of March. You got sublimation, spiritual magic. So it's talking a lot about your spiritual side here, and how you are connecting to it, and how you should be open to it and willing to work towards it. It's time to wake up. Just popped into my head. We have Mother of the Gods, which is about divine feminine energy, but it's also Mother of the Gods. She created the gods. She created this next level of awareness. Thank you so much. We've got purification and shadow release. You might be needing to do some shadow work here. You have 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. And 10 is both the end and the beginning here for a new chapter. And this is really what we've been talking about with your spirit animals. Thank you so much. If you aren't interested in these spirit animals, please have a little Google to what you might find out more about. And shadow release, that's nice. And the phoenix, I had a feeling you were going to get this. So the phoenix is about death and rebirth. So your month of March, oh, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. Your month of March is going to be you releasing an old side of yourself and or even reconnecting with a side of you that you have been pushing away. I don't know if it's out of shame or out of it not being practical at the minute, but this is the one thing that you need to really connect with yourself. The phoenix is, you know, burning up in flames and then being reborn in the ashes. And that's how it's transforming and rejuvenating itself. Wow, I feel like this month of March is going to be quite some release here. We also have Mercury, and if you listen to the astrological forecast for the month, we have some conjunctions with Mercury. It's going to be 2, and it's all about communication and truth. Wonderful. Okay, I'm hearing one more card here before we continue on. Maybe it's also the water signs is about underlying, like, connecting with Neptune here, because Neptune is the planet of Pisces, and Pisces is the last water sign before the new astrological year. We also have New Moon Lilith in Libra. You deserve balance. So many signs has got this card for the month of March, and I just feel like that is the general energy here that we all collectively really need to connect with both sides of ourselves and really make sure that we're not burning ourselves out and really stepping into our power. So this is the energy for the month of March. Thank you so much. I'm going to have a look at the past energy that you bring it into March. What does Cancer need to be aware of? The Wheel of Fortune, and it's part of the major arcana there. The major arcana is major events happening in your life, or the major underlying energy throughout the month. But this is the energy that you bring it into the month of March, and it's number 10, so it's both the beginning and the end, we can say. So the wheel is about change, cycles, inevitable fate. And change is inevitable. You kind of need to step in. So this is kind of a realization maybe that you just recently had getting into March. And this card is about adapting and flowing instead of blocking yourself. And resilience turns tides into your favor. You know, the Wheel of Fortune always turns. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And I feel like you've been having a really up time. I'm also getting told that there's a lot of books here, and I don't know if that is actually connecting to this teacher that we were talking about. Maybe you're getting onto a spiritual retreat. Maybe you've been to a spiritual retreat and or class or yoga, or you've been tapping into a bit of a meditation and an inner wisdom here, and that's what I'm picking up on. And that's why you realize that you actually need to step into your favor here. This is also connected to Jupiter and also Sagittarius and Pisces, because their ancient ruler is for Pisces was also Jupiter. So it's about fire and restarting anew. And you know, Jupiter, like we said in the astrological forecast, is the planet of really principles and growth and expansion, adventure and healing, good fortune, miracles and wisdom. So this is the energy that you're bringing into March, and I'm very proud of you for having a little bit, maybe even a little bit of a spiritual awakening here, Cancer. I'm very proud of you. It's not easy all the time, but I feel very light with this. It's kind of like you have this understanding that is underlying, that you are picking up on, that this is needing to happen. Does that make sense? Do we have any hopes or fears for the month of March? We have the Nine of Pentacles. So the nines always reflects element of isolation, but also heightened awareness. So I feel like this could be both a hope and a fear. Like you're hoping for continuous heightened awareness, and this is about fruits of the labor, independence, rewards. She's been growing these grapes, and the grapes are really hard to grow in the tarot, and she's about to harvest them. Like she's been putting so much work in, and when it comes to the Pentacles, it's about the physical, the material, security, stability, but also about education, like we just have been talking about, and what you have and what you can gain. And it is a card that says, I am safe and my value is not defined by what I own. It's about self-control equals reward. So maybe since it came out into the reverse, maybe you're a little bit scared that you might not have the self-discipline that you might be tapping into. Maybe you're scared that you are not getting what you've been sowing or reaping what you've been sowing. Or I feel like it could be a both here. You're really hoping that it will be worth it, but you might be a little bit fearful that it might not, and you might need to reconsider here. And maybe you don't feel safe at the minute, but you need to just tap into this and really look at yourself, what you can do to make sure that you do feel safe. Maybe you need to start a savings account. Maybe you need to start paying out some debt. But I feel like you are tapping into this energy. So that's why I'm also getting like this is both a hope and a fear that you are taking something on here. Okay, wonderful. What is the present energy for Cancer here? Could you please guide them for the highest good? What do they need to be aware of? The Chariot. So the Chariot is also part of the major arcana. It's about direction, control, determination, pure willpower, and self-control. So this came up into the reverse. So maybe I feel like there might be a little bit of lack of control and lack of direction. You have the two opposing forces here in life. And he, as the rider, as the driver, in the driver's seat, knows when to pull the reins tighter and when to loosen it, has this control. Since it came up into the reverse here, I feel like that is the energy that you kind of want to tap into. And we were also talking about going with the flow here and having some sort of balance. So this is the initial energy for the month of March. Maybe you've been feeling, it's also about speed, it's going fast. Maybe you feel like it's going a bit slow since it's coming out in the reversed. But I'm also picking up on an energy. Maybe you're feeling you're lacking a little bit of willpower and determination and self-control. And, all this will be the success, will result in success and a victory. He is fully in control. And maybe you're feeling right now that you are not fully in control. But this could also be the spiritual awakening happening underlyingly that can shake things up. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps again. So I feel like that is happening for you there. Crossing energy is Temperance. And Temperance is another major arcana card. And the Temperance is 1 + 4 because it's number 14. And that adds up to number 5, which is change and possibilities. And Temperance is about taking the middle path and having patience finding a meaning. You're finding a balance through directing your energy, and that is the crossing. So what you need to focus on in the month of March is how you are directing your energy. Maybe start with a little bit of meditation and embracing patience and harmony in that way. And that is to balance your inner world, because once your inner world is balanced, your outer world will follow. You have the angel here standing with 1 foot firmly on the ground there, grounded in the reality. You have 1 foot in the water, which is all about being in contact with your emotions and things like that. You have the sun rising on top of over the mountains here, and the mountains are always representing achievements, but also in the shape of kind of challenges. So without any challenges, you won't be able to grow. But he is enlightened here. The angel is enlightened. There's kind of a lot of light coming here. You also have a continuous stream of water here in between these cups, which is connected to also emotions, but also not giving if your cup is empty. But since it's a continuous flow here, you are being able to direct energy here. So this is really what I'm getting here, that you want to maybe even start a little bit of meditation, calming down on everything that's going on. I just got a ringing in my ear, so that is just a bit of a confirmation that is crossing the chariot here. So to see how you can control your outer world, or feel like you maybe not have so much control, and knowing when to tighten the reins and to let them loose, you need to go and have a look at your inner world, and that is the crossing energy there. So that's really what I'm picking up on. This is what you need to focus on in the month of March, and you will be getting a long way. I feel very happy for you, Cancer. There is something here that you are very aware of. What is the conscious energy of Cancer here for the month of March? What are they consciously working towards, and what do they need to consciously what are they consciously focusing on? Thank you so much. We have the Three of Cups. Cups are about emotions, and three is about loyalty, bonding, but it is also a point of no return, like a new life. Yeah. And this is a card about happiness, friendship, union, socializing, loving community, and investing in people around you, with both time and energy. So that is really what you're focusing on here. And I feel like this is a celebration. You are celebrating right now, and I feel like you really deserve it. What do Cancer need to know about the conscious energy here? I feel like you're tapping into this spiritual awakening and kind of allowing it to happen, and you just need to have a little bit of some sort of discipline, so you know kind of where to aim. That's what I'm getting with the Chariot. We have changes going on, and it's like you're fully picking up on it. You got some swans there as well. We didn't get any swan energy for your spirit animal, but I feel like that is connected to it as well. So we've got some changes going on, and you're celebrating it. It's kind of like a release. That also ties into the feeling I got from your meditation, like getting up to the surface, being able to breathe again, and fully like floating, going with the flow, allowing your body to float up to the surface. And that's what I'm picking up on. Really, I urge you to really get into meditation, because this is a very positive energy that is flowing through the month of March. And I really want you to take the opportunity to really tap into that, Cancer, because you are a water sign, just like me. And we can sometimes we can have a bit of a hard time going with the flow, even though we are water signs. But once in a blue moon or like that, we just feel like, there's nothing else to do. We just let it happen. And I'm really picking up on that, just allowing your heart to be happy, because I feel like my heart is getting lighter as we're going through this reading. I feel like it's very light, and you are celebrating, and you are being happy, and there are changes around you, and you really are tapping into it. I'm so grateful. It's about shadow release is also what I'm picking up on here. You know, celebrating and being patient with yourself where you've been. I feel like you should just continue on with this energy. And maybe even if you have a bit of a shadow release problem, just journal. I know it sounds a bit boring, you know, everyone tells you to journal, but maybe, you know, you don't need to write pages and pages and pages. Maybe just see or write down, not necessarily focus on where you've been, but how you actually got through it, or like, this is me now, and decide who you are, because it's about death and rebirth here. The Phoenix is also number 17, which adds up to number 8, which is about karma. Great, thank you. Which is about karma, but also about money, and you know, it's almost connected to the Wheel of Fortune a little bit. We have in the subconscious here, we have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is a journey towards harmony. You know, this is all about a transition, leaving behind things that does not longer serve you. You've got some rocky water here, and this woman and this child is leaving everything behind that is not serving them. They just got into this boat with just a clothing on their back, and they're just willing to get to calm shores. And this is a great card, and it's really confirming what we've been talking about here. The swords are about the intellect and thoughts, and maybe they have been weighing you down too much, but I also feel like you're just ready to work towards your harmony here, Cancer. I'm so proud of you. And it's talking about I leave because I cannot heal in a place that reopens my wounds. It's time to just leave the old things behind and just move on forward. We also have the Page of Swords that came out at the same time. And the pages are about new opportunities and new experiences. And the swords are connected to the intellect and thought. So maybe it could be some new opportunity to learn. Maybe there's some new like courses that you are interested in looking at. It's about experience and curiosity and a bit of a restlessness, but having a lot of mental energy and knowing that there's more to know, there's more to do, there's more, kind of moving with a bit of a purpose. And this Page of Swords here, he is eager to share. He has a lot of enthusiasm, but it also comes down to asking you to plan a little bit, you know, just see where you kind of want to aim the arrow. And that's probably why I got the meditation popping up as well, because with the meditation you're sitting with your energy and you are kind of seeing, where should I aim this arrow and what directions should I go in? And that is also what I'm picking up here, a little bit of planning, you know, going with the flow, but kind of just knowing where you're heading is a great way to just move and kind of transform and move with this energy. Yeah? What is your energy for the month of March? Who is Cancer in the month of March? Could you please guide them for the highest good? What do they need to know? Thank you so much. The Hanged Man. Hanged Man is the card of Pisces, my beautiful Cancers. And it came out into the reverse, but this man, I'm just going to generally speak about the card first. The Hangman is about sacrifice and releasing martyrdom, and being open to having awakenings when they come. He is hanging upside down here, out of his own free will, to see the world upside down, kind of in a new perspective, in order to gain enlightenment. And I feel like you need to tap into the value and know it, the knowingness of the value of self-sacrifice or surrendering to a new perspective, and make sure the sacrifices that we are doing is not needless ones. Since this came into the reverse, that is really what I'm picking up on. Like, you might need a new perspective, but you also need to allow, because I'm feeling like since it came out into the reverse, and as you're working with this energy, maybe as you're tapping into meditation, because I feel some kind of restraint from starting meditation, but this will allow you to put the Hangman into the upright and releasing this and having a little bit of an enlightenment within. That is kind of what you are already going through here, but you just need to tap into that willingness to actually look at it in a different perspective. It is also a card, since it's Pisces card, is also connected to water and to the planet Neptune. So we got a lot. Neptune is all about magic and illusions, but also intuition. Intuition is the thing that you want to connect to. So you kind of know, like, subconsciously where to aim. Your energy might be a little bit blocked in the month of March. Maybe it's too much happening around you. You kind of want to put the brakes on a little bit. And that's also why I feel is connected a little bit to the Chariot here. But this is also a major arcana card, so you kind of have a lot of an awakening going on in your life, and it's kind of, maybe it's happening too much, happening a bit too fast, you don't have control, but it's just asking you to go within and start with a meditation. Okay, what does Cancer need to know about the Hangman into the reverse? What do they need to focus on to get it into the upright and allow this flow to happen? Thank you so much. So we want to focus on, I'm going to read the negative ones first, that you need to be maybe even step away from. Is about being rash, forceful, bully, vicious, unfocused, ruthless, arrogant, restless, impulsive, tactless, rude, and aggressive. And this is the Knight of Swords card, which is another card about going fast. In my interpretation, it's about going really fast. This is, in my world, connected to the Chariot because it's two cards about going very fast. You want to focus and really connect to ambitious, fast thinking, success driven, assertiveness. That's what I'm picking up on. Direct impatience, intellectual, daring, focused, and perfectionist. So maybe this is also kind of like you want to step away from a little bit. You don't need to have perfectionism, but it's asking you to focus on being focused, or having a direction to go in, being a bit assertive. That is really what I'm picking up on there. So yes, great. This is all coming together. Thank you so much. What is the environment around Cancer for the month of March? What do they need to be aware of? What is going on in their environment, and how is that affecting them? So the environment around you, the Nine of Cups, is about reflecting elements of isolation and heightened awareness, right? And the Nine of Cups, you know, he sits there very happily. He's been gathering all this emotional knowledge through his time and everything like that. And it's all about being comfort, having emotional stability, a bit of emotional luxury, and knowing your worth and not taking things for granted and finding fulfillment within. I feel like the environment around you is actually the one that might be stopping you a little bit from finding your emotional fulfillment within. Does that make sense? Maybe it's a bit of a hectic going on. Maybe it's a kind of a work thing, or maybe it's about family related. It's a bit choppy waters, and maybe not allowing you to find your worth where you're at, or this environment that you're in. So you really want to be tapping into that. Could I have another card describing Cancer's environment here and how it is affecting them? I just really feel like that's why you need to focus on your inner world, so that your outer world comes into play. And it's funny as I'm saying that, because Temperance once again popped up, and that's probably why I picked up on it. So it's about making sure that your inner world is balanced first and foremost, and then your outer world will follow, depending also on the choices that you make once your inner world is balanced. It's funny because I just thought about Temperance, and that's why I was kind of describing the card of Temperance, and that's what you got as clarification. So that is kind of what goes together, and that's what you need to focus on, finding balance through directing the energy. So if the energy around you is a bit chaotic, or maybe even a little bit rubbly emotionally, then you find yourself first and then you make decisions. Does that make sense? I really hope it does, because I feel like that's pretty clear. What is the short-term outcome here for Cancer, working through the month of March? Oop. And we got Judgment. Judgment is the number 20 here. And it's about reflection, reckoning, awakenings. So you will be having a spiritual awakening after working with the energies throughout the month of March, or even being connected to the energies through the month of March. You've got another angel here. I feel like I picked it up the wrong way. It told me to pick it up the other way, so don't worry about it being reversed. Maybe it's actually just right now, as you are starting to tap into this meditation, in the reverse, and we'll steadily just move on forward, because I feel like it should be in the upright. And you know, you're awakening for a calling. He's calling these people down here, and the angels are calling you. Basically, you are awakening to a calling and embracing the true path for you. It's about rebirth and looking back and having an honest evaluation of yourself and how it has impacted you and other people, but also that will lead into a new way of life. It's not meant to look at harshly. You're not meant to look at yourself harshly, but also it needs to be able, you need to see your worth still through your mistakes. And that's funny that I brought up that shadow release with journaling, from where you've been to where you're going, and not looking at it, not focusing on the negative things, but looking at what you've actually learned from these mistakes that you might have made. And that is also why I'm feeling that that is a shadow release. And also communication and truth. We're all tying together here. You're having a spiritual awakening in the month of March, and you're doing great with it. I'm so proud of you. You just need to have a little bit of patience for yourself and just be able to step into your own essence and into your own energy, and allow and be comfortable in there. That is what I'm getting. Okay, thank you so much. What is the long-term outcome here for Cancer? We have the Magician into the reverse. So this energy is blocked right now, but as you're working with this energy and allowing yourself to flow a little bit, you are creating your own reality, right? So the Magician is about willpower. Maybe that is why it's into the reverse, because right now there might be a little bit of lack of willpower, or it might be actually lacking a little bit of direction, and that's why the Magician is into the reverse. So maybe that's what you actually need to work on in order for it to go into upright. But the Magician is about willpower, intention, creation, manifestation. You know, he has all the tools that he needs. He has all the tools from all the suits here on this table, ready to create whatever reality that he's stepping into. There's loads of flowers on this card. It's also a very golden card. You've got quite a few golden cards going on here as well. And the flowers in the tarot are also very hard to grow. He's also pouncing as above, so below. He's connected to the flow of energy. And, you know, he creates a reality with... He's creating his reality with the tools that is available to him. And he transforms it into the desires that he wants and what he wants to work at. It's also about using your abilities with pure intentions and trusting your inner power. Maybe that's why it's into the reverse as well, because you're not fully really trusting your inner power just yet. It is connected to the planet of Mercury, and Mercury here is about communication and truth. So it's funny that we are connecting a little bit here. It's also a card of Gemini and Virgo. So there is some sort of discipline and communication that needs to happen here within yourself to allow it to go into the upright. You got a wonderful reading, Cancer. I'm so proud of you. Whatever does Cancer need to be aware of before I close this reading? Cancer, what do they need to be aware of? Could you guide them for the highest good? The law of attraction. The law of attraction is actually connected to the Magician. What you want and what you deserve is what you get. And what you feel like you deserve is the key here in this case. You also have 3 ladies here dancing, and that is connecting with that, isn't it? Oh, that's cool. So the law of attraction. What you feel like you deserve, you will get. If you feel like you deserve, you know, upheaval and horrible things, then you will kind of attract that. But you are tapping into this inner, and I feel like it's really connecting to your heart chakra this month of March, and allowing Neptune and the moon throughout the month to really allow yourself to step up into your own energy here. The law of attraction, that is perfect. If you're interested, please have a little Google what that means. There's so much going on here. You can do affirmations if you want. I'm not really feeling affirmations at the minute. It's not like what I'm picking up on, because it's kind of like being, I don't want it to be feeling not genuine, disingenuine, because you need to really genuinely feel in your heart like you deserve it. You can trick your brain into these kind of things, but I also want you to feel like this dark release and allow yourself a little bit of death and rebirth in order to step into the new you. Allow that fire to blaze path for you. Does that make sense? What else does Cancer need to be aware of for the month of March? I just want to say that I'm so proud of you. Whoever needs to hear that, I'm so proud of you. We just have a little bit more to go, and I feel like the number 9 is something that will pop up through the month of March. 9, end of a cycle, maybe even a little bit of 10 here. 10 is both the end and the beginning. What else here? Transformation, transformational energy. Thank you so much. Okay, I need to switch the decks here. Thank you so much. What else does Cancer need to be aware of for the month of March? There's one card in this deck that I kind of want to find. Thank you so much. Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, sexual alchemy. Okay, so that is also connecting to the law of attraction, because the sacral chakra is connected to your creativity and to your kind of willpower, but also I suppose everything is connected here. Is also the number 8, which is about karma, but the sacral chakra in your body is connected to your passions, your drive, your willpower, your creativity, and that is what you need to kind of tap into. Thank you so much, Spirit. What else do you want Cancer to know before we close this reading? I'm thinking about the moon, and maybe that's why it's going to be such a transformational month for you, because your planet that is ruling you is the moon, isn't it, Cancer? So your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to yourself might be tested, because you're more believe in the impossible. Thank you so much. I just want to finish saying that your planet is the moon, and the moon this month is having so many conjunction with so many different planets and putting it into so many different aspects. So that is also probably why you are feeling like there's a lot of things happening right now and how you are being put into different situations. I'm just very proud of you. You're gonna do great. Just tap into yourself and allow yourself this little bit of discipline when it comes to your feelings through meditation, okay? Thank you so much, Cancer, for being here for the month of March. I really hope it resonated. If it did, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and please leave a comment. I love to hear from you, and I hope that you take very good care of yourself. And I'm sending so much positive energy towards you, because you are in the zone in the month of March when it comes to rebirth. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. Hopefully I see you in the month of April. Take very good care of yourself.